All right, welcome to the week one training. You guys are already off to a great start. I have gotten so much engagement from you. I know it's a lot at first to learn, but you will start to learn it and really get to know it, and it will become like clockwork, I promise. And you're going to just fall in love with this program. I'm going to start by going over the app because we had a lot of questions in the question and answer session today. So I just want to make sure that you understand that everything is in this app. Okay, so I'll go to my home button. Your workouts are in the app, your water intake, your macro goals. You have little workout streaks, so you can see that. You have your workouts here. You have the nutrition stuff. You have some quick links and everything that you need. You also have, which I think is really important, is the tutorials. If you go to the clipboard, um, the tutorials are in here, the program guide, um, let's see, meal prep guide, and then down here is the tutorials. The tutorials have everything you need, and I think it was in the original email that you got from Fasterway. So just make sure that you look at those tutorials to understand how to track things. Um, the weekly curriculum is here too. So if you click on your week one, it'll show you what we're working on this week. And basically what we're working on is just learning how to intermittent fast, focus on whole food, achieve your water intake, participate in the workouts, and celebrate your commitment to health. Okay, so week one, pretty simple, just making sure that you get to know the app and try intermittent fasting. If you have not set up your macro goals, it prompts you to set them up, but if you haven't done that yet, you're going to go to um, the home button and then click on macro goals here. And if you scroll down, there's a calculator. So click on that calculator, and then it asks you the questions of oops, I don't know what I did. It asks your height, your weight, your activity level, your goal, and most of it is probably going to be to lose weight. And then what you want to click on is the 45, 25, 30, that top one, 45, 35, 45, 25, right here, 30. And then, and the low carb day is 50. I think it said that in the book too, or in the, so 50 for women, 100 for pregnant women, 100 for men. So that's your low carb day. And we had a low carb day today, which you don't really need to be too concentrated on as of right now, because we're just learning the app and everything. So I just want you to focus on this week, trying the workouts in the app, and also switching to whole food nutrition, which is coming from the ground or a mother. Kind of sounds corny, but if it comes from a ground or a mother, then it's safe to eat, as far as except for dairy. So we're eliminating dairy and gluten in this program. And the reason for that is inflammation. We're really trying to cut back on inflammation in our body. Let's see. So we've already done that. We've done that. And if you have any questions about this, please let me know. I'm here to answer questions for you. I'm your coach. I'm cheering you on. You're going to be so successful in this program. But if you don't ask, you won't know, right? And also try to ask them in the group so that everybody can get that answer, because I'm sure that your question, somebody else has the same question. And then coming, I think Wednesday, I'm going to ask you to screenshot your macros, and that is after you have put in your foods. So the best way if you want to set yourself up for success, this is how you do it. You track your macros the night before, okay? So you know exactly what you're going to eat the next day. You can always tweak them, but if say you didn't track them today, or you didn't put them in before and you ate all your fats at lunch, that's the number one thing that people go over because they're not used to tracking. And say you have all your fats at lunch and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? I've already eaten all my fats. So if you have that prepped in your app already, then you will know exactly what you need to eat. And then you won't have it won't be a guessing game. And we're not eliminating foods in this program. We are just showing you what to eat with a whole food. So we're not using powders. You don't have to buy any shakes or anything. Actually, we're using protein powder to supplement that protein, because a lot of you have already said, whoa, that is a lot of protein. And that's true, because we need to eat a lot of protein to build muscle, and muscle burns fat. So that is why we do that. Also in your app, you can, let's see, let's go to the foods. So in your app, you can click on the fork and knife, okay? And that is your foods. And I think already, like it, let's just say, mine says suggest because I've already removed the foods out of here. But you can click on meal options. I don't know why it's not doing that. You can click on the meal options. These suggestions bring up the meals. The recipes are there. The one thing you cannot do is pick and choose what is in the recipe. So I tend not to use the recipes, but a lot of people who've been in my groups, my previous groups, really love the recipes. What I like to do is go to adding manually. So here, if I go to add food, you can scan a barcode, which is really awesome. You can add manually, which is what I usually do. So if I'm going to add manually, you can search the food. It's very similar to MyFitnessPal. Oh, my battery's dying. I just got a new phone today. But I didn't check the battery. Ground beef. So if I go to ground beef, maybe ground beef, it pulls up all different kinds of beef. So I had ground beef, and then you can go to serving size. It says 1 serving. No, we don't want that. I like to do just ground beef. Like this one says 4 ounces there. So you, most of the time you can pull this up and it'll say 1 ounce, and then I just add the ounces. And it shows you how many. 4 ounces has 23 grams of fat, and you can add that to your food log, and it automatically adds it into your food log. To subtract the food, because I didn't eat that much ground beef, you can swipe left, tap it there, and then it will take it out, okay? So that's how you add and subtract food. If you really know you're going to eat a lot of ground beef, and I try to only eat it on Monday and Tuesday because those are the high fat days, you can heart it. Okay, you'll tap that like heart and it saves it. And I'll show you where it saves it. So when we go to add food, when it goes, you can click on my items and you click up here in the middle and my foods. Why doesn't, hold on. My items. Oh, there they are. So click on that middle one, my food, and this saves all the food that we're allowed to have feta cheese too. So goat cheese we are allowed to have. So chicken breast. So these are all things that I eat a lot. So you can just go to that to quickly add those things. You can also move a meal. So you can copy a meal if you want. Oh, this is a heart. If you go to meal options, you can press copy and you can copy one. So let's go to ground beef. I'm going to copy from meal 3, select, and then you can pick the day you want to copy it to. So if I know I'm going to have that on Tuesday, I copy to date and it puts it in tomorrow's date. Okay, so now it's in Tuesdays. So that's how that works. So you can just copy it and then it pastes into that to the next day. So it does, if you know that you're going to have the same thing for lunch, you can just put that in. If you pre-measure everything for lunches that week, you can put that in to the app already. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything. I am going fast. You know, the auto meal plan is an excellent resource to see how many macros are in each meal. When I first started, I kept that in there just to make sure that I was getting my macros. And I mean, I have to be honest, I really haven't used them. I don't use the recipes that much, but a lot of people do and love them. I do want to make the chia pudding one though, because that looks really good, and I'll post that in our group. Got it. Why do we track food? Well, we need to make sure that we're eating enough food. A lot of people might notice that they're feeling full because it's a lot of, it's full of vitamins. The protein will fill you up, and if you're not eating enough, then your metabolism slows down. So you're not burning fat. You're just burning that food because your body's like, well, she's not eating enough. I'm going to hold on to that fat. So you might find that you're going to be eating a lot more. So that it doesn't, if you're not eating enough, it's not burning off your fat stores. Unfortunately, your metabolism will not change overnight. So I wish it would, but it doesn't. So we just need to stick to it. And that's what I kept thinking when, you know, if I felt like it wasn't moving fast enough, I just kept thinking positive mindset, progress over perfection, and trust the process. That's what it was. Trust the process, because I know it works. Let's see. Track your food at night. Guaranteed success. I've already mentioned that. Make a plan. Tracking is a skill. So you're learning so much, right? We're learning so much. That's why I love this program. You learn so much and you learn the why. So tracking, it's a skill. And this app is different than MyFitnessPal, so that you just have to learn it, and then and you just learn it. Like, you just learn how it works. It's not forever, so you're not gonna have to track forever. Once you do this, it just depends on, I would say the full 6 weeks, definitely keep tracking, but maybe a year from now or 6 months from now, you're like, I kind of know what I'm eating. I've got this dialed. You've lost your weight. You're in maintenance. You know exactly what you're doing. Then you can stop tracking. And then if you kind of go off the rails a little bit, then just start tracking again, because all this knowledge that you're learning in the 6 weeks, this is going to last with you forever, right? This is not a quick 6-week diet. This is knowledge that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life, because A, you know it works, and B, you know it works. So, and you're going to see that it works during that fasting time. So, you know, when we eat, it takes 10 to 12 hours for our body to burn all the fat, or excuse me, all the food, right? To digest all that food. And so if you wait just a few more hours, right? So from 12 hours to that 16 mark, your body starts to burn the fat, right? So if you are at that 12-hour mark and you can hold off just a little bit longer, that is going to burn more fat, and it's going to take it off your body. So it's looking for fuel to function. Sorry, I keep looking down. I'm looking at my notes, obviously. During your fast, you may eat water. Excuse me, you can't eat water. You may drink water, you may drink tea, and you may drink coffee, right? So, you know, say you stop eating at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So usually I try to stop eating around 7. So I'll start eating again at 11 a.m., right? And in between that time, I'll drink a lot of water. I'll have black coffee. And if I'm, you know, overdoing it on coffee, I'll have some tea. You can put stevia in your tea, liquid stevia. Some people like it to sweeten it. You can also put a little bit of creamer, as long as it's 50 calories or less. So make sure you measure. And it may not have sugar or fiber. Okay, so 50 calories or less. So look at your serving size. If it has more than 50 calories for that serving size, then, you know, just use less than that. So you can calculate that on your own. A lot of people like nut pods. I just drink my coffee black now. So just make sure that you pay attention to that. So yeah, we went over that. So you're going to get great results in this 6 weeks. But this is just kind of a kickstart. So we do have a VIP program that I will stay your coach, and you can keep and continue. It keeps the app changes a little bit. The workouts, you get more workouts in there, and you can continue with that education. So this really is a 6 week. So if you have more than 10 to 15 pounds to lose, you might want to consider, or if you don't, you might want to just consider it to stay consistent. So we already talked about the why, that digestion. Oh, and it also ties in with brain health. So there's a bunch of research that really states that your memory, fasting helps with memory and your brain health. So it just has benefits all over the place. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions that... If you have any questions, please put them in the group. Remember, this is progress over perfection. You're already doing an amazing job just by starting and committing to your health. This is a lifelong thing. So anything that you're learning, you're going to take with you after the 6 weeks, and continue that in your lifetime. Also, during this fasting, you might just want to start with 12-12 if that feels right to you. And then you can just kind of bump that up. All right, so I hope you have a great week. Let's go.